Namaste, sir.
Usually we don't have to use the microphone because you have so many people here, but there's a lot of
less much activity going on. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So today being Sri Krishna Janmashtami, we're going to read some special verses from the Bhagavatam. This is primarily from the first canto, chapter 3, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text 28. I'll read most of the purport. It's a very long purport. Read most of the purport. And also just read a little bit from the two previous verses, just to kind of set the scene. So maybe I'll read those. I'll read 26 to 27, and we'll go on together to 28. So you can just listen to 26. Avataraya Sankheya Hare Sattva Nidirtvijaha Yata Vidya Sina Kulya Sarasashu Sahasrasaha. O Brahmanas, the incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like rivulets from inexhaustible sources of water. 27. Rishayo Manavo Deva Manu Putra Mahojasa Kalastarve Hare Eva Saprajapataya Smitaha. All the rishis, Manus, demigods, and descendants of Manu, who are especially powerful, are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis. And then today, 28. Is it up there?
Yep.
Okay, great. Teche chamsa kalapumsam
Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indranim Vyakulam Lokam
Prayariya Kulam Lokam
Mritayanti Yuge Yuge
Vidayanti Yuge Yuge
Te Chamsa Kalapumsa
Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Mritayanti Yuge Yuge
Vidayanti Yuge Yuge
Te Chamsa Kalapumsa
Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrani Vyamulam Lokam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Mridayanti Yuge Yuge
Vidayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete chamsa kala pumsa
Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa
Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Rani Jakulam Lokam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Vridayanti Yuge Yuge
Mridayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa
Ete chamsa kala pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Indrani Jakulam Lokam
Vidayanti Yuge Yuge
Vridayanti Yuge Yuge
Chamsa Kala Pumsa
Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Indrani Vyakulam Lokam
Dayanti Yuge Yuge
Vidayanti Yuge Yuge
Where means Ete,
Ete
all these.
All
Sha
Cham
and
and
Amsha,
Amsa
plenary portions. Kalaha,
Alaha.
portions of the plenary portions.
Portions of the plenary portions.
Pumsa
Pumsa
of the Supreme.
of the Supreme.
Krishna,
Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
To,
To.
but,
But.
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan.
the personality of Godhead.
Personality of God.
Swayam,
Swayam.
in person.
In person.
Indra Adi,
Indrahari.
the enemies of Indra.
The enemies of Indra.
Vyakulam,
Bhagavan.
disturbed.
Disturbed.
Lokam,
Lokam.
oh, excuse me, all the planets.
All the planets.
Vridayanti,
Hridayanti.
gives protection.
Gives protection.
Yuge, yuge, in different ages. Translation, all of the above mentioned incarnations, some of you read like 20 some incarnations, are either, in previous verses, are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. So please repeat. All of the above mentioned incarnations
All of the above mentioned incarnations
are either plenary portions
are either plenary portions
or portions of the plenary portions
or portions of the plenary portions
of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna
Lord Shri Krishna
is the original personality of Godhead.
the original personality of God.
All of them appear
All of them appear
on planets
on planets
whenever there is a disturbance
whenever there is a service
created by the atheists.
created by the atheists.
The Lord incarnates
Lord incarnates
to protect the theists.
to
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So it's a very long purport. I'll read again most of it, but I won't read it all. Prabhupada comments. In this particular stanza, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted among the avatars, incarnations, because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatara means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life, to fulfill different missions, particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions, or parts of the plenary portions, or his differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. Prabhupada is so expert at giving examples in minor context. For example, Lord Parshuram and Lord Nrsimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods and other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Janmashtami displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings, powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narada and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass people. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balaram, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan Rishis exhibit his renunciation. So all the different incarnations of the Lord, indirectly or directly, manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastime with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss, and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto, and in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of the Lord's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. So this is the first canto. Prabhupada is anticipating the 10th canto is going to explain the Lord's most intimate pastimes with his devotees, but in order to understand those, he's saying we have to progress through the other 9 cantos. So one more paragraph we'll read. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative script sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the supreme truth are in full are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to himself. In this stanza, the word Svayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of their specific functions, nowhere are they declared to be the supreme personality. In this stanza, the word Svayam signifies the supremacy as a summum bonum. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Padaya, Vishnu Vishnu Padaya, Bhakti Vinaya, Swami Vinaya, Jai Saraswati Devi, so, days we know there's many devotees making flower garlands. Yeah, you're doing garlands there. And vases over here. And then extra time dressing the deities on the altar. And there's probably devotees already in the kitchen. There are devotees here all day long, cutting vegetables. And not just here, we're in Philadelphia, but the same thing's going on a few miles away in Delaware. It's definitely going on a few miles away in Baltimore. You go north of ways in New York, there's so many ISKCON temples there in New York. Those communities I was just recently visiting, there's communities of devotees now in Vermont. Haven't been there for so many years, but there's communities in Vermont and all over the United States, Central America, South America, Europe's ahead of us. I think today, sometimes the calendars are different. I think they're also celebrating Janmashtami today. So in some European countries, it's already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Here it's just 8 o'clock in the morning. And thousands, actually millions of devotees, in some of the temples in India, Janmashtami, they get, as they say, lakhs of devotees. I think Mumbai, last count, I think 300,000. Mayapur even more than that. So a lot of devotees come to see the Lord's deity and to hear about the Lord and take prashadam and be visiting the temples on this special day. So we're very fortunate to, by Prabhupada's mercy, most of us in the room today at least were not, some of us, yes, but most of us were not raised celebrating Janmashtami as little kids. And I didn't hear about Janmashtami till I was 20. when I first visited the ISKCON temple and learned about Krishna and his appearances. So we're especially grateful to Srila Prabhupada who made this possible for us. And even people of Indian origin, as is explained here. A lot of times, you know, they celebrate Janmashtami, they celebrate Shivaratri, they celebrate so many different days, but without any real understanding. I know I speak with a lot of members of ISKCON coming from Indian background, and they'll say that they did a lot of this stuff, but they had very little understanding of why. You know, the description is being given here about how Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. That information is not so well known, but by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and his most dear disciple, dear follower, Representative Srila Prabhupada, who's making this knowledge available all over the world. So in the Bhagavad Gita, particularly, Krishna explains that there's three main reasons why he comes to this world, which are he comes to annihilate the miscreants. We can see if there's a lot of miscreants. Sometimes these days I'm wondering, so Krishna, are you going to come again? And I have to remember, no, he's here in his holy name. We just have to spread his holy name. There's lots of miscreant energy in the world these days, too much of it. It's a little disheartening to see how difficult things are in the world these days. But Krishna comes to annihilate those miscreant elements. He comes to protect the devotees, and he comes to reestablish religious principles. How many of you have went to see the Mahan Shingha film? Anybody here seen it? Sure, I went. Others you haven't gone. You've gone. Okay, good. Is it still in Philadelphia?
Yes,
I would.
it was in the suburbs.
Okay, in the
But-
suburbs. I know in Washington DC it was like 6 or 8 different theaters. I went on Tuesday and there was about 40 people there for the 6 o'clock show. And it was being shown in, like I mentioned, 6 or 8 different theaters. It's like hundreds of theaters all over the country. And where we are was in Telugu with English subtitles, and some theaters had it in Hindi with subtitles. But lots and lots of people are coming to see that beautiful film, where the Lord shows how he comes to annihilate the miscreants. The Prabhupada mentions Hiranyakashipu in this purport, and to protect the devotees. So here, in this particular verse, more detail is given about the Lord's incarnation and when he comes, how he comes, why he comes. And particularly, Prabhupada is elaborating that it's interesting how he comes and he sends representatives or plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions or other empowered representatives according to time, place, and circumstance. And he gives this really nice example that just like the powerhouse can give power to so many things, including the small light bulb, but it also powers a big factory, the same source. So according to the need of the time, more of that energy is manifested. So the same way, Krishna comes according to what's necessary. It just makes sense. Just like I was thinking, if there's a fire, they always, at least I don't know if they still talk about this, what is it, a 1 alarm fire, like a 2 alarm, 1 alarm fire, they send whatever, 1 fire truck, 2 alarm fire, they call the local cities and they send theirs. And I don't know what the highest one is. Everybody comes, right? So according to the need, more fire trucks come. In the same way, on a typical, whatever, Tuesday, they cook a certain amount of prasadam, bhoga for the deities, offer it becomes prasadam. On Janmashtami, there's people cutting vegetables and preparing, cooking all day long, because we know there's going to be a big party of devotees. So according to the need, you respond. So Krishna's the same way. According to the need, he comes and manifests different qualities and different opulences according to the need of the time. So the key point that's made in this verse is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he appears in full, manifesting all of his opulences, his fame, beauty, wealth, strength, knowledge, renunciation. And he displays these in his various pastimes as Krishna. So I was thinking there's not too many of us here at this point. It's those that are working back there. And sometimes you can hear, sometimes you're too absorbed in flower and Leela. But we can also try to think of Krishna Leela. So what are some of the ways that Krishna manifested his opulence of strength in his pastimes? And I had the advantage because I can look at the beautiful paintings here. I was looking at them during Guru Puja. There's a lot of them right there. They give evidence of that. But what are some of the pastimes? Yes, okay, what is this?
So now,
Yeah, lifting Govardhan Hill for 7 days with what part of his transcendental body? The pinky of his left hand. And some of those paintings that you see, it's funny because like the cowherd men, they're using their sticks to try to help him hold up the mountain, thinking that they'll assist him in this way. Okay, what in some other ways that he displayed his strength you can think of?
Kalia serpent. Right.
Yes, Leah's serpent is there, so powerful, and Krishna's just dancing on his heads. And then when he thought he would just rest for a while or whatever he was thinking, he stopped and Kaliya grabbed him. Everyone was fainting. Mother Yashoda was fainting on the shore of the Jupiter River. And then he said, okay, time to finish him. And he just manifested his full strength again. Okay, great. And I was thinking too, like the pictures here, like, well, Putana's not there, but when he was, he manifested, and even as a baby, he killed Putana, right? Agasur is there, all the cowherd boys in this painting, they're happily walking into this, what looks to them like a big mountain, but maybe it's the snake, but they know Krishna's there, he'll take care of them. So they're just dancing, the picture's so great. Krishna's kind of looking to see what's going to happen next. And the cowherd boys are just dancing into the mountain. One or two of them looking back like, okay, come on, Krishna. This is going to be fun. So he manifests his strength. How about knowledge? Where does he manifest his knowledge? Yeah.
I was thinking even in Damodar Leela, he knocks over 2 trees.
Yes.
And they're like really big trees.
Yes.
Recently we had a big tree fall here and it's
Okay.
like, I mean, you couldn't even lift up even a slice of that
Imagine.
tree. Yeah, like 2 guys like wheeling it like a wheel, like rolling it. If they hear Krishna, it's just a baby and he just like crawls in the tree and
Yes.
knocks 2 over.
Knocks them over. Yes. Good example. Good example. Okay, what about knowledge? What are some of the pastimes where Krishna manifests his supreme knowledge? Is that water drinking? What is it?
Not
It-
necessary.
Well, it's whenever they run the washer and dryer,
Uh-huh.
it's connected, so it sucks air.
Oh, I see.
So-
Okay. So, there's a ghost playing cartels or something. Yes, knowledge. How does he manifest knowledge?
When Mother Yashoda was
When Mother Yashoda was,
looking into Krishna's mouth,
okay,
he was like showing knowledge that way, no?
okay, well, definitely he's manifesting his unlimited mystic power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because that's not even, you can't even see it, but it's behind you. That same painting is there, yes. What else? Yeah, that's the most obvious one, right? He spoke the Bhagavad Gita, which has been studied for thousands of years and is still considered to be the most concise and the summary of all the Vedic literature. Yes.
Yes, one big way is how in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the scripture, it describes time, how long one day of Brahma is and so forth. Where in science, they found that it's completely right. The exact amount of time.
So
So
the
that's
Bhagavatam, which is written by.
quite a miracle that long ago,
Hmm.
and now the science just confirming.
Just trying to understand those things. Yes, very good. How about renunciation? What are some of the ways that the Lord manifests his quality of renunciation?
He was attacked by, was it Jarasandha? And he left and went up the mountain and jumped up. He could have won the battle, but
He was worried about the fame of winning the battle. Yeah, how many Jarasandha attacked? What, 17 times?
yes.
17 times. Like, I don't know, who cares? Yeah, you can keep the title. It's good. What are some other ways that he manifests renunciation?
When he left Vrindavan,
Okay.
he externally at least, he gave up the association of his mother and father, cowherd boys, didn't return.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I was thinking also when he was the night of the Rasa dance and the gopis became a little proud, thinking how especially fortunate they are. You know, they left everything. Highest manifestation of surrender from the devotee's perspective. But Prabhupada comments, probably other Charas comments, became a little proud of Krishna disappeared. So it's like, you know, I don't really need you. I love you. I want to reciprocate with your love. It becomes influenced by pride. Okay, cool. I'm going. And then beauty. How's Krishna manifested beauty? You get some examples of that.
As Shamasundar is just his bodily features are beautiful. And, the source of all beauty. They captivate the heart of Cupid.
Good, the very nice, captivating the heart of Cupid. Even Cupid is captivated by Krishna's beauty.
Krishna went into Mathura, and all the ladies were on all the buildings looking and saying, "Oh, beautiful."
Yeah, very nice. All the ladies in the tour. How about his wealth? How was his wealth manifesting?
Multiple houses.
Yeah, 16,108 wives, each with a palace. That's a lot of palaces. And it's described mystically at the end of the day, he would kind of come together as one, and then he would go to each of the palaces at night. So that's, and I've heard Prabhupada say in lecture Tuesday, what's the big deal for Krishna? 16,000 is nothing. It's easy. It's not a big deal, you know. But from our perspective, and I was thinking also of Sudama Brahmana, who when he came and offered his little flat brush to Krishna, they went home and his whole house was transformed into a beautiful palace, and his wife was gorgeously decorated in gems and all those different kind of things. And who was their name given for was the fruit seller, the lady who little baby Krishna brought some few grains of to barter with her, right?
Yeah.
And then she was so, there's an example again of his beauty. She was so overwhelmed with his beauty, she just said, here, she tried to like load him up with fruit. And then there's another beautiful painting, it's not here, but then her whole basket turned into jewels. So he has so much wealth, and just mystic by his power. What's another basket of jewels? Not a big deal. Yeah. So wonderful. And fame? How's Krishna manifest his quality of fame?
Well, today, billions of people across the,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's Janmashtami. Billions of people are worshiping him on this day. And again, Bhagavad Gita spoken how many years ago? And still studied today as a wonderful, wonderful text for us to make. So
many people wanted to kill him. That's a sign of, I mean, if people want to worship you, but
oh,
also.
that's interesting.
then-
Yeah, that's
then,
interesting.
you know,
That was fake
If
too.
you're a nobody, the demons are gonna.
And so many people want to take credit for his book. Right? I think this is probably said there's something like 600 volumes, translations, commentaries, and Gita, which of course he criticizes very strongly. Write your own book, but they're all trying to like take advantage of Krishna's fame and write a commentary on his book to get some fame for themselves or some, you know, prestige or something like that. So I was thinking too, maybe we'll go around. What are some of the, we'll start with you, Pearl. What are the things that you find most attractive about Krishna? We're reading that he's the source of everything. He is the original personality of God. He is the all attractive. So what are some of the ways that you are particularly attracted to Krishna?
Gopala Krishna, like way he looks, his blue skin, and I was thinking of a specific thing where he's a cow.
So you like the opulence of Krishna, with the cows and manifesting his beauty. Nice. Go ahead, share. What's one way you find Krishna particularly attractive? Does he attract you?
When he's holding up Govardhan, so beautiful, and everyone's just looking at him with awe.
I've heard it described too, that's the one Leela and everyone was there. You know, like the cowherd boys is with the day, Gopis in the evening, Mother Yashoda in the morning and later, but they were all together there at one time. They were all with him. So it's very, you know, in that sense, unique in that way. What ways you're particularly attracted to the all attractive one?
I'll probably think of more later.
Okay.
And it's a good thing to think about today.
Yeah.
So thank you for stimulating these thoughts. I was thinking about Krishna's sense of humor when he's kind of teasing the cowherd girls, and you know, He acts as, he pretends to be the boatman and he dresses up like a boatman. And sometimes he's asking him to pay a toll in order to pass. And just that sense of humor that Krishna has, that
His humor and his playfulness.
yeah,
Yes.
to think that God
He,
is
he plays like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he teases. The ladies in the back wanted to say something that you find attractive.
I was thinking of them too, like stealing butter
This pastime, stealing butter
and garments of.
and stealing the garments of the gopis. Yeah.
It's like the protective factor of Krishna too, of like thinking of Lord Nishinga as well.
And how he's so protective of his devotees. Mataji, you want to add something?
Yeah, knowing
No English. No English.
No English. Okay, okay. So Krishna's manifesting his opulence by appealing to the hearts of people speaking every language around the whole world. Very nice. Very good. Yes.
I was just thinking when she said protection, it made me think about how he appeared for Draupadi when she was calling out for him in protection, even though he was, a distance away. He manifests to be there for her and protect her.
Yeah, Draupadi is such a wonderful story because we know that initially she was upset that her husbands weren't protecting her. She was upset because the leaders of the whole dynasty were there. Bhishma was there. Dronacharya was there. None of them were speaking up to try to protect her. And then she tried to protect herself. And then she realized my only shelter is Krishna. She expressed that my only shelter is, and then Krishna appeared. Yes, Manjini? No, I thought your hand was. All right, good. So a couple other thoughts, and then the deities. I was told they'd be ready anytime between 8:30 and 8:45. What should we shoot for? 8:45. Okay. They still have to fix the front of the altar.
Yeah.
All that stuff should be gone.
Yeah.
So we'll go maybe 8:45. Okay, Haribo Pujaris, you have 12 minutes. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 10th chapter, Krishna explains that when one understands his opulences in full, then they surrender. 10:7, then 10:8 says, "I'm the source of all spiritual material worlds, have a being amazing being. Wise to know this perfectly engaged in my devotional service with all their hearts." So in the purport, probably explains that people elsewhere too, people know God is great, but they don't know how God is great. And if we cultivate this deeper understanding of who Krishna is and who he is, what his qualities are, the way he interacts with his devotees, his various opulences, then we'll be more and more attracted to him, and we won't be so attracted to this material world. And that's the problem. We're conditioned souls. We're still attracted to the material world. And oftentimes I experience, I'm trying to chant japa, it's a total tug of war that I normally lose because my mind's going everywhere else. It's attracted to so many things. And I was thinking this morning when we read Lord Chaitanya Shishati verse, he says, your holy name is everything, yet I have no attraction. Yeah, I was thinking, Lord Chaitanya, you're so kind that you said that just to help us who have no attraction, to have some hope. Because why don't we have so much attraction? Well, we're not convinced that the Lord is not different from his name. We don't have that taste that the great acharyas expressed when Rupa Goswami said, I wish I had thousands of tongues and thousands of years because he has that sense of how beautiful the Lord's name is and how it is not different from him. So we don't have that realization, but we need to become more convinced, according to these verses of the Gita, convinced of the Lord's opulences and his all-loving personality. And then these other things, they'll just disappear. So our process is multifold, but two of the aspects is becoming detached from the materialistic things and attached to Krishna. As it describes in the Ishopanishad, He is the transcendental philosopher who's been fulfilling everyone's desires this time or memorial. So he reciprocates with our desires. If we want material things, he gives us material things. Want money? Great, that's easy. Even as described, Krishna easily awards liberation. No big deal. Oh, you want liberation? Okay, of course you have to deserve it to one extent. But even that is explained. That's easy. He gives that easily. But pure bhakti, not so much. Because that means he's giving himself. So he's been fulfilling all of our desires. He reciprocates with our desires. And if we want material things, we'll get material things. If we want love of God, if we want devotional service, he'll also give that, depending on our desires. Prabhupada quotes, I think it's a biblical expression, man proposes, God disposes, quotes that in the Bhagavad Gita. So Janmashtami is this very special day. We understand the original Supreme Personality of God had appeared. It's a great day to remember the Lord, to learn about his opulences, his beauty, his kindness, the way he interacts with devotees, his wonderful qualities, and become more and more convinced, fixed in our conviction that we need to surrender to him. And that's really all it takes to become pure devotee, is to be very fixed in our desire that we only want to serve Krishna. We don't want to serve anyone else. All the other opulence of this world are just reflections of his opulence. But we're not convinced. We're still attracted to things of the material world. We're still thinking, well, maybe this, well, maybe that. And therefore, there's 8,400,000 different species. Each one of them, it's a phenomenal thing. Each one of them offers a particular type of sense gratification. So you want that, Krishna's, he's got it all thought out ahead of time. Whatever we want, great, there's a body for that, there's a planet for that, there's a species for that. And just to teach us that actually that body, that species, that planet are sufficient. And we see that probably kind of talks about this in an indirect way. He explains in the purport of the demigods, many, many times excel the most nice expression, the most well-to-do human beings. You maybe think, yeah, I know so many well-to-do people, either I know them directly or read about them or hear about them. But the demigods far excel that position, but they're not happy. And they were threatened by Hiranyakashipu. So, just like we're talking about in the beginning, that the Lord Nrsimha filmed this out now, we see the Lord was so kind that he came and protected Prahlad, and Prahlad was always, at the end, there's a whole series of prayers we say, but about Krishna, Lord Nrsimha was so kind. And he says, I'm just a demon. He says that a few times. Why would you appear in front of me? Why would you want to protect me? Because he's praying, dear Lord, please appear. But why would you want to? I'm just so lowborn. I was born in a Demonian family, but still, you're so kind that you appeared. So we have many disqualifications. First and foremost, we came here. Sometimes we may feel not so disqualified. Sometimes our false ego makes us think, well, we are qualified. Well, then what are we doing here? It's kind of like we're in the prison house, wondering why things are rough sometimes. Like, well, what do you do in the prison house? Well, I guess because I wanted to rebel. Okay, so stop rebelling. You can get out of the prison house, right? At least in theory, that's what prisons are there for. You learn how to stop rebelling, then you can get out. In the same way, we can get out. So we came here, we rebelled against Krishna. And as Lord Chaitanya said, he has no attraction, so we also have no attraction. But as we're learning in this verse, the Lord is a person. He's very merciful, he's very kind. In Gita again, it's quite amazing. I was thinking about this morning. He is the Supreme Personality of God, and universes come out of the force, the body of its plenary expansion. Lord Vishnu. He's so vast, and yet he says, just offer me a leaf. I so much want your association. I so much want you to come back with me. I am so kindly oriented towards, he says, towards my devotees. My parts and parcels have forgotten me and have chosen to forget me to come in this world. If you just like they're making these flowers, they're going to throw away so many leaves, isn't it? They're sweeping the floors up, right? John is exemplifying the mood of the temple president. He's on the hands and knees washing the floor. And Mataji's picking up so many leaves, right? What are you going to do with those? What do you do with those leaves? You throw them in the garbage. Krishna said, thank you. That's exactly what I knew. Thank you. It's the right answer. She's gonna throw those leaves in the garbage. But Krishna says, no, you take one of those leaves, you offer it to me with love and devotion, and I'll accept it. Even for us, it's trash. But for him, if it's love and devotion with that leaf, I'll accept it. Water's everywhere, right? It rained the last couple of days. It's cloudy now. It's not supposed to rain anymore today. But it rains. It's everywhere it rains. There's shortages in some parts of the world, of course, but it's everywhere. It's the one of the few things everybody has access to in some way, shape, or form. Krishna says, offer it to me, and I'll accept it. So you meditate throughout the day about his beautiful pastimes with the cowherd boys, with Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, with the gopis, with his queens in Dwarka, with Arjuna and the Pandavas. You know, these images, the Bhagavad Gita, there's two of the last images on the wall there are Krishna consoling Arjuna, and then Arjuna, I believe later Krishna's manifesting his universal form. So many ways we can meditate. I was listening recently to a discussion between two scholars, Radhika Raman and I forget the other devotee's name, about the Bhagavatam, the chapter on grandfather Bhishma. And there's so many very intricate and intimate parts of that Leela, Bhishma's, his relationship with Krishna, and all of his different devotees. So whatever we may be attracted to in this world, whether it's money or power or beauty or fame or fast cars or excitement, I was thinking, get meditated on some of Krishna's pastimes. I know a devotee, Ramya Prabhu, his daughter is like, I don't know if she's world famous, but she has established some level of fame as a mountain climber, like those people that go up sheer cliffs and stuff like that. And there's probably people that like super famous in competitions and all that. And I was thinking, wow, there's some, for me, that would kill me. I'm one of the people, like when I go across the Susquehanna Bridge, I try to get in the middle lane. Just because I don't like thinking about how even that is like a little scary for me. These people climb up cliffs and it's intense excitement. Krishna, like you mentioned earlier, he doesn't just climb cliffs, he jumps off cliffs. So it's like, you want excitement.
I think it was it 88 miles?
Was it?
Something like that.
88 miles high. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember the time, but either way, he's like, and with Balaram, right, with a big smile on their face, like, woo, this is fun, right? So, and with Arjuna, it's like, hey, Arjuna, jump in the chair when you go, go into space, right? I mean, if you want excitement, again, power, beauty, whatever, you want excitement, it's found in full in Krishna. So this is the day that the Lord shows his mercy, that he comes into this world. He doesn't have to come into this world, but he comes. He appears, he manifests himself, all of his devotees, all of his Leela, to call us back to him. And the Prabhupada says in that one happening album, one of those original records albums, he says the Lord is, I can't remember the exact term, ever calling or ever inviting, one of those terms he uses. The Lord is ever inviting the conditioned souls to come back to him. So again, Janmashtami, I was thinking, like Prabhupada's grace has been devoted. This is like either my 49th or 50th Janmashtami. So it hasn't sunk in yet how Krishna keeps coming. But like every year, it's very common. Hey, I'm coming again. It's a good day for you to remember me. Lord Chaitanya, hey, I came. I made it very easy, right? Lord Nrsimha, hey, I came. I'm protecting you. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, there's so many different ways that the Lord comes again and again and again. So we should try to pray to him today that we can make some progress and awaken our love for him. And also, I was thinking, just to end with this, as so many devotees are doing nicely, we should really try to think too how we want to share this. I don't know, a couple thousand people becoming, like we said, around the world, millions. So we should be remembering too, Krishna comes to call us, so we're Krishna's servants here. When people come, there'll be a lot of people here coming, and maybe regular people that come. They need to be encouraged and feel more inspired to be part of the community, go deeper. There's a lot of people here maybe come once a year. There's probably going to be some people that come here that never been here before. And depending on the experience they get, they'll come back or they won't come back. I've been to a lot of places at one time and it's like, oh, not going there again. So we should make sure that everybody has a very positive experience. And don't forget, each and every one of us, whether we speak English or not, whether we're a one-day devotee or a 10-year devotee or a 100-year devotee, everybody, when they come, a friendly face, a smile, encouraging words, that makes a difference to people. Some sharing some nice thoughts about Krishna, or just, thank you for coming. We're glad you're here. That makes people feel welcome and makes them feel inspired to think that Krishna, we are the representatives of Krishna's love for them at that moment. So we should try to remember that, and even maybe by 10:30, we're feeling a little grouchy and a little tired, a little thirsty, a little hungry. But that's the time, as Drona mentioned earlier, that maybe a little austerity in all the services that need to be done. But those are the times when we reach out to people, it really makes a difference for them. So we should try to be servants today, especially in his mission of giving everyone the chance to come, have his darshan, take prasad, and associate devotees. So thank you very much. It's a wonderful opportunity to think about Krishna, and he is. It's amazing. Our concept of God is pretty far out. I mean, others like, there is no God. There's billions of people in the world that, well, they're atheists to start with. There's no God. There's no supreme shelter. There's no reason. There's no reason for existence. You have no purpose. You are a manifestation of chemicals. And when the chemicals come apart again, you're finished. Congratulations. Makes you feel good, doesn't it? That's like a lot of people. There's other people say, no, there's a higher reality. What's the higher reality? Nothing. The higher reality is nothing. And then there's other people say, well, there is a higher reality. You are like a part of the ultimate reality. Well, if I'm a part of the ultimate reality, that means I should be part of the controller, and I should be able to control, and I want to stop the suffering. Why can't I? Well, maybe you're not the controlling part. Maybe you are the controlled part. Okay, well, that sounds pretty impressive. Who wants to be controlled? Well, here's the person that controls us. And he's a person that controls us, and ultimately himself, although he's unlimited, enjoys being controlled by the tiny parts and parcels, you and me, one that's pure love. I mean, what kind of reality is that? That's our understanding of the ultimate reality. It's like, wow, that's amazing. So that kind of thought should help us be inspired throughout the day that Krishna, you are so wonderful. Please let me understand more and more of your wonders so I can come closer to you. Okay, so we'll stop there. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai.
Let me see if we always stop at the end to see anybody online, if they have any comments, questions, appreciations. Before we take darshan.
I don't see any hands up. But thank you very much, Anuttama Prabhu. It was a wonderful start to the day.
And it's a long day. We'll see you later on today.
Hare Krishna.
For those online, feel free to come at any time today. Darshan will be open all day long. We also need any type of service you'd like to render during the day in preparation for Janmashtami, and then the festival begins at 5 o'clock tonight. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.